Thank you very much for that incredibly warm welcome. I think the object was not to make me tear up and cry, because I'm really a bad crier. It gets pretty ugly pretty quick. But what I'm so looking forward to talking with you today is a little bit of a look back before we look forward. When we look back on history, what are the great works that have endured today? If you want to understand the world that was created by our ancestors, look at the things that they built. We have learned about past civilizations through a discovery process that began when we found their buildings. For much of history, much of those structures were built by men. The past world did amazing things, but it was deprived of the talent from women. Think about what different things we might know about those times or about those people if women were the builders. The women in this room haven't been shy at all about building the future. And there is no doubt, as Florence the Machine just told us, the dog days are over. There has long been an unspoken assumption that the construction industry is not a place for women. Whether any women actually agreed is a separate question. But the fact is that we women have shown up regardless. And we have not been shy about making it a place for women. Here in the United States, that's been true from the beginning, starting with America's first ever mega projects way back in 1869. Emily Warren Roebling was married to Washington Roebling, the chief engineer of the Brooklyn Bridge, which would become the longest suspension bridge in the world, as well as the largest and most challenging structure the country had ever attempted. Roebling's husband was incapacitated by an accident in one of the pressurized chambers beneath the East River. It left him physically unable to visit the site. And that's when Emily clocked in. For the next 10 years, she acted as the essential link between the bridge work and her husband's oversight, taking over much of the day-to-day supervision and management responsibilities. At the opening ceremony in 1883, the mayor of New York hailed the Brooklyn Bridge and Emily's role in building it as, quote, an everlasting monument to the sacrificing devotion of a woman and of her capacity for that higher education for which she has been too long disbarred. That quote, it's not perfect, but it was 150 years ago. And though we might prefer different words today, that was a massive invitation. It was an 1800s rallying cry for women to enter engineering and construction. Let's fast forward to the outbreak of World War II, when the Allied governments called on construction firms to supply the infrastructure for mobilizing the nation's industrial capacity. In Canada, women answered the nation's call by the thousands at shipyards on both coasts. Approximately 4,000 women helped build ships for Canada. That's including Mrs. Mi'kmaq. Mrs. Mi'kmaq was a mother. She was famously photographed with her infant on her back while working as a bolter in the shipyard. It's pretty impressive. These women face challenges, including gender bias, lower wages than their male colleagues, and a pressing need for childcare. Sound familiar? Yep. My company's role during the war included building and operating shipyards to assemble hundreds of vessels here in the States. and women answered the call to help. Among them was Dorothy Gimblett, a mother of 3 whose skill was welding. Let's hear it from the welders. Her appearance in heavy welder's leathers was a real-life inspiration behind the Rosie the Riveter campaign. The impact that they have has never faded, even though some of the gender gains from that wartime era proved transitory. Let's fast forward to today. We are witnessing one of the biggest construction booms in modern history. According to one estimate, over the next 35 years, the world will build the equivalent of one entire New York City every single month. Some of these projects have the potential to influence and improve people's lives in ways that would have been hard to imagine just a few decades ago. But here's the simple truth. Construction needs us women. There's a lot of reasons why. The demand for people far outstrips supply. Right now, women make up 47% of the United States workforce, but only 4 or 5% of the construction craft workforce. By comparison, women now make up nearly 30% of Bechtel's total US workforce, and we are working hard to drive that number higher still. I am inspired to be part of the insatiable, and I mean insatiable, demand for construction in North America, just like you are. My journey in construction started, like many of Bechtel's projects, with a why, a problem to be solved, a challenge to be overcome, and anyone who is attracted to this field wants at some level to leave their mark. For me, the path to construction in the construction industry began when I was on assignment doing water and sanitation work in India, Kenya, and Morocco. In school, I had studied water and sanitation in emerging markets, how to design them, how to finance them, how to operate them. But it wasn't until I was working out in the field that I truly understood what basic infrastructure means at a human level. It's the type of infrastructure we take for granted, but it has a tremendous impact on the choices available to women and girls. I saw how much of their time was spent literally collecting the water that they needed for the day and carrying it home to their families, 6 trips a day in many cases. I became passionate about how eliminating those never-ending tasks could make it possible for girls to do more, girls to go to school, girls to get in trades. How it would allow adult women to do more meaningful things with their lives and contribute their energy and talent, improving their society. I also saw that construction is how you make that happen. And so building became the thing that I wanted to do with my own time and my own energy. So what's your why? When I think about the tradeswomen of the future, I wonder what projects will inspire them. What legacy will they want to leave behind? Maybe it's clean energy. Many of us women are helping speed the energy transition through the projects we drive to completion. Bechtel has several solar projects underway, and estimates are that there's 160 gigawatts of solar being constructed in the United States right now. Maybe it's manufacturing. Maybe onshoring manufacturing will be a focus, bringing stability to the global microchip market and bringing more artificial intelligence capacity to North America. These projects create good-paying jobs that elevate the standard of living, drive prosperity, and support sustainable livelihoods. Maybe it's space exploration. Women are helping build space infrastructure that will take us, the first women, to the moon and Mars. But maybe it's not one particular project, but maybe your why is inspiring and increasing opportunities for your next generation, your kids, or your nieces, your nephews, or the people in your community. Maybe the inspiration is that you want financial independence and the opportunity to earn for yourself and your family. That may not be all of it, but that's a really good why that this industry has to offer. It's true that construction has long been a male-dominated field, but that is changing, and it's changing fast, both in terms of the attitudes and the practical obstacles that can make it harder for women to succeed in construction jobs. As Florence the Machine said, the dog days are over. But it is true that there is still plenty of room for improvement. But there's also no doubt that the environment will continue to progress because it has to, because we have to. Today at Bechtel, we are hiring craft professionals by the hundreds every week. We are being deliberate about introducing people to the trades for the first time and making it a positive experience. We hosted high school girls at one of our projects for a summer camp we called Camp Builder. It was an opportunity for girls to try a trade in a fun and safe environment. It was amazing. The feedback was enthusiastic, and the girls felt like they were getting a real understanding of what it's like to work in construction, and they liked it. We're expanding that program next summer at sites around the United States. And if those girls decide at one point to join a Bechtel project or other projects, they will find a company that wants to understand what makes our sites a great place to work. Last year, we conducted a series of small group discussions with our team members in Ohio, the female craft professionals in Ohio. One thing we learned from those focus groups was a suggestion to increase mentorship, especially around managing the challenges of working in a male-dominated field. So we have hosted NAB2 lean-in circles to connect women across our projects. And we have learned in our employee resource group, leaned into our employee resource groups. Anyone from our professional staff or craft professionals can join our Women at Bechtel group. The chapter in Ohio began its journey in August of 2023 with a modest group of 30 members. Now we have a dedicated group of 150 members that has flourished into a vibrant community. Those members join a network of several thousand women across the globe who are part of their local chapter of Women at Bechtel. Notably, our Ohio membership numbers include more than 50% of the total women in craft roles on the site, a testament to the chapter's engaging program. They have active participation from our craft professionals who can attend on the clock. These events have been instrumental in connecting craft and professional staff, fostering community, and creating open communication. Throughout the year, the chapter has organized events including speed networking and speed mentorship, a TED Talk on women in construction, and the provision of translation in Spanish, ensuring accessibility and inclusivity. They've launched the Healthy Workspaces campaign, addressing harassment in the workplace and promoting well-being throughout events. And they're in the community, donating time and money to local women's chapters. Another thing we've heard from our focus groups was a popular suggestion to partner closely with the unions to have women at our job fairs and get out there talking about the benefits of working in construction. We hear all the time from people when they apply to Bechtel that they want to hear from like-minded people and what work is like and what it means to be a craft professional. Construction is a place for women. We have work to do, a lot of work to do, on childcare, on culture, on site amenities. We need women like you to tell your story and continue to help. Bechtel is committed to making construction a place for women. We are committed to helping women like you tell the story of construction and tell your story. And we are committed to identifying the women leaders that will take construction into the future, because you are literally building our legacy for generations to come. There's one last thought I want to leave you with, one that I hope will offer you something to keep thinking long after you leave this room. When we admire the built environment of the past, when we look around now at the ones that we live in today, we are looking at a world that has been predominantly designed and built by men. What would be done differently if more women had been involved along the way? Let's go make our impact now. Let's go build our future. Thank you very much, and I think we've got some marching to do here soon.